Announcing the Midlands Values Awards for 2022, searching the region to recognise and celebrate NHS staff with digital certificates and praise, helping to celebrate, elevate, train and retain. Who will be your organisation's nominees and award winners? Order your 15 digital certificates with animation, applause, video, music and kind audio message. A great way to celebrate and acknowledge your key contributors to staff and patient care. Here are some examples of our winners for this year. Congratulations to Bruno from the Royal College of Nursing. Many thanks to Bruno for being a living, leading inspiration, mentor, role model, change enabler and change maker, for opening doors, making waves and delivering your best in the support of others. Respect. And the Allyship Award goes to Dr. Suzanne Cleary for being an informed and outspoken ally supporting positive change within the NHS. During our Safe Space to Discuss Race webinar, Suzanne shared her workforce race equality standard training journey, which really inspired many NHS colleagues. Well done, Suzanne, and thank you.
You know, there isn't anything else in the NHS. You know, if the care wasn't right, if the money wasn't right, if the performance was off, we couldn't ignore it. But actually, sometimes as white people, we just walk away from this and say it's too hard, and that's got to stop.
Just wanted to say thank you to Suzanne for standing up to be counted on this issue. I think the more allies that we have on this who are white and from privileged sort of backgrounds is really, really powerful and really important in terms of the cause around this.
You've kind of given language to something that's quite sensitive and difficult to describe, and that's the reason why it's so easy to ignore it and say it doesn't exist. You've given us a framework, you've given us language, and you've given us your open, lived experience in terms of how you got to being an ally. It's a great way to start the podcast. Thank you.
And the People Person Award goes to Paul Vaughan for being an outstanding listener and enabler for positive change. Well done, Paul, and thank you. Listen to Paul's thoughts on being an ally in a short video clip.
So I'm Paul Vaughan. I'm the Deputy Director for Primary Care Nursing and Next Gen Nurse at NHS England and NHS Improvement. Well, a definition that I've read in some of the literature, really, and I suppose it's where you use your position of privilege to advocate for support or to stand in solidarity with a marginalised group. That would be the kind of the formal definition, I suppose, is what I would say it is. So it was really when I started to work with the Royal College of Nursing. I got this fancy job as a regional director for the RCN in the West Midlands, which is when I met you, actually, and others. And when I took up that job, a group of people who were members of the RCN came to me and they said to me, are you, as the regional director for this area, are you actually going to pick up some of the issues that we've been facing around racism? They were nurses who were black and worked in local trusts in the West Midlands, but they were also members of the Royal College of Nursing. And they had experienced racism in the Royal College of Nursing as members, as well as in their workplace. And that was really the first time. And I'm really grateful to those nurses because it was through their eyes that I began to understand what it was like. One being honest with yourself, because I think it's, you know, it's not I'm not making excuses for it, but it's not always easy to be honest with yourself when you recognize in your behavior that actually you might be racist and you never realized it. And you have to be honest with yourself, I think. And I suppose that honesty then leads to courage. So when you recognize that you are that way, you have to have the courage then to admit it and say, okay, I need to do something about it. And that's really important for me, I think. So, and then having the courage to do something about it, because I think too many people, if I'm being honest, pay lip service to it. And then I think there's the bit about being ongoing reflective. You need to be reflective. So it's not just a sudden, this is it and it's sorted and that's great. It's not. You have to be reflective. So I think the journey carries on, both a personal journey and reflecting on yourself, but equally on reflecting on the experiences that you have. And are you being honest with yourself and others when they behave poorly? And do you have the courage to speak out when they behave poorly or you see things? So for me, probably there are three qualities. And I'm not saying I am great with them. I try. But I think there are three really important qualities that people, it's helpful to have if you're working in this space.
And the Senior Leader Award goes to Dr. Alison Walker of the West Midlands Ambulance Service. Here are Alison's top 4 tips on being an ally and to help improve health inequalities and staff experiences across the NHS. An amazing beacon of inspiration and ally. Thank you, Alison. Keep up the amazing work.
So I'm the West Midlands Ambulance Service Medical Director. I think everyone was shocked by what they saw, and across the media. And around about the same time, we had an event in the ambulance services, a diversity and inclusion event. And one of the things that really struck me at the time was there was a lead in diversity from another ambulance service who said at the time to a group of us, it wasn't just to me, people from my background are sick of talking about race and diversity. When are the rest of you going to do something about this? And that really kind of struck me that we should get on, actually all of us, including me, and try to do everything that we could to try and raise the issues, stand alongside people from different backgrounds, and just try and raise the profile of it all. I think probably the first one, and it's probably not where people would say my natural tendencies lie, is to listen. So you're probably aware I'm quite good at chatting, and listening doesn't actually take up the same amount of my time normally, but I think it is an area where we have to be prepared to listen and to try to understand it. I don't think we can ever put ourselves in someone else's shoes, but I think if we're going to be anywhere along standing aside our colleagues, our patients, then we have to listen and understand better. I think the other thing is, and I kind of alongside that, is being open to learning. So I've learned a lot in the last 18 months around, well, just in so many areas around, what can I do to help, some of the terminology about understanding phrases like white privilege, which is, originally I'd have to be honest and say I don't think I really did understand that. It was about, I didn't understand it was about how all these areas just affect the way that you live normally, and that some of us are very privileged that we don't have to even think about some of the things that people have to think about on a day-to-day basis if they have a darker skin tone. So I think I'd say being open to learning is the other one. And then I think I'm going to be a bit naughty and have two together.
Yeah, go for it.
That we have to accept the challenge given to us or that we learn about, and to be proactive in terms of supporting the changes that are needed to improve the lives of our patients, our colleagues, well, everyone really. So I've been a bit naughty and had 4 there. Became aware of a number of areas that I really didn't know much about, that I needed some education on, that I also needed support. And when I joined in the groups that Mima Rhymes supported, I was really relieved that it was such a supportive, non-judgmental. You could ask questions about areas you didn't understand terminology in, about how you should put things, what we should actually do in terms of allyship and supporting people to have their voices heard more clearly. So I guess that's where it's all come from and part of the journey I've been on.
And the Community Hero Award goes to Angela Knight-Jackson, MBE. And this award is presented for being an inspiration to the NHS nursing and midwifery workforce and beyond. Well done, Angela. Amazing work. Thank you. And the Respect and Thanks Award goes to Maria Arthur for continuing to support leaders of tomorrow whilst improving equality and patient care. Well done, Maria, and thank you. Keep up the amazing work. The Change Enabler Award goes to E. Stephanie Dunn. Now, this award is presented to E. Stephanie for continuing to keep people at the heart of everything she does, inspiring resilience throughout the pandemic and beyond. Well done, E. Stephanie. Keep up the amazing work. And this year's Innovation Award goes to Ramzan Mohammed for exploring new and inclusive ways of working, taking bold steps towards positive change. Well done, Ramzan, and thank you. The Kindness Award goes to Cheryl Nayabizi for being a courageous, caring and compassionate team player, constantly speaking up for those who cannot. Supporting change, one kind act at a time. Thank you, Cheryl, for being such a great inspiration. Keep up the amazing work. Well done. And the Outstanding Effort Award goes to Sabrina Richards for promoting inclusivity and valuing others. Well done, Sabrina, and thank you. Keep up the amazing work. And those were just a few examples of our digital certificates. Let's discuss categories for your nominees and winners, be they individuals or departments, and make your Black History Month celebration that extra special this year. Black His Story, Her Story, Our Story, and Legacy.